This right here is a smoke leak detector by Solary SD301. I'm going to use this to troubleshoot a boost leak that I've been having. This is how it looks like in the package. Got the switches right here. 12 volt power. Smoke output right here. Oil goes in through here. That's the machine itself. It comes with these parts here. This plugs directly to the battery. This is a hook so that you could hook it up there. And then of course a bottle where you could put the oil in it. And then extra hoses. Now the oil itself has to be purchased separately. I found this at Walgreens. What I read is that mineral oil is the kind you want. Tasteless, odorless, colorless. I heard that if you use baby oil, it smells very, very bad. And I do not want that. Now the reason I ended up getting this smoke machine was because I was experiencing power loss under boost. I did find a boost leak on this coupler right here, but even after I tightened that up, I was still getting some kind of leak somewhere. So for me, the next logical step was to get a smoke detector. Even if I brought this vehicle to a shop, they would very likely use a smoke detector anyway and charge me for diagnostics. So I figured might as well just test it myself and save some money. And then I get to have my own smoke machine for future testing if needed. What I need to do now is to find a coupler that I need to take off so that I can start feeding the smoke into it. So there's the turbo right there. I'm thinking the easiest coupler for me to access is gonna be this one right here. That one right there, even if the car wasn't on cribs, is very, very difficult. I've already tried removing that one before. So I'm gonna do this one right here and go from there. Gotta love multi-tools. This is my Leatherman. I forget what model it is. I got it a long time ago, but this thing has saved my life so many times. Got these loose enough to slide off. Hopefully this coupler will come off a lot easier than I think it will. That should be good enough. Let me try to wiggle these apart. Finally got these two apart. I had to do that off camera because I needed two hands. I couldn't have this hand holding a flashlight. Now before I do the actual test, I need to make sure this part of the kit fits inside here. And it looks like it does. Gotta make sure there's a tight seal all the way around. If not, I might have to push this in farther. Let's see, I hope this is a good enough seal. If not, we'll find out once the smoke starts coming out. Gonna do a little bit of assembly here. This hose right here is about 3 feet long. This thing here weighs about, I want to say 5 pounds. Don't want to overfill it. Gonna cap that now. And then right here, you can twist off that very top. Gonna fill up the smoke machine now. The port for this is pretty small, so it doesn't look like I can simply jam this in there and then squeeze all the contents out. Little bit of patience here. Takes a little bit to put 30 milliliters in there, doesn't it? I'm gonna test my theory here. I think this thing is too heavy for my aftermarket struts. Ah, look at that, it holds. Ah, I've been proven wrong. Now I'm gonna feed this end down through here, down to that intercooler pipe. Hopefully it's long enough. And then of course, give it some power. Positive first, and then negative. I forgot that I should probably hold on to this end to make sure the smoke actually comes out first before I feed it down there. My question is this gonna work without turning the ignition on? Let's see. Ooh, I have power. Nice. Okay, let's see. See how long it takes for smoke to start coming out? Alright, I can see the smoke right there. I don't know if you can or not. It's very subtle. Maybe it'll get thicker as we go. Let me hold it against the black right here. Hope you can see the smoke. Nice. Alright, now that I have smoke coming out, I'm gonna feed it down. Whew. That actually is not a pleasant smell. Geek. Alright, here we are down here by the intercooler pipe. I'm gonna connect these ends together, push it in to make sure there's a good seal, and then let it do its thing. I'm gonna push this in a little farther just to make sure that there's a perfect seal. I don't see anything leaking out of here, so I'm gonna assume this is a good seal. And then I'm just gonna wait, give it some time, and see where the smoke starts coming out. Alright, I can see some smoke coming out over here by the blow-off valve. That was one of the spots that I was suspecting. So for sure it is leaking by the blow-off valve. Let me take a look at the rest of the couplers. And I'm double checking all the couplers to make sure there's no smoke coming out anywhere. So this first coupler, where I thought would be one of the culprits, is actually not leaking anything. The next coupler, this one seems fine too. I don't see any smoke coming out of there. So I said that it was coming out of the blow-off valve, but it's actually not. It is coming out from the next coupler down the line right there. So that's what I'm gonna tighten up right now. Gonna turn this off. Now, just to give you a rough idea, this is starting to get warm. It's not so hot that I can't touch it, but it is noticeably warmer. When this thing is on, you can hear it buzzing. This mineral oil right here, even though it says tasteless, odorless, and colorless, that doesn't apply when you are using it for a smoke machine. It almost smells like somebody's house is on fire next door. Almost like that. I'm a little bit concerned that my smoke detectors might start going off. This is our culprit coupler right here. Before I tighten it, I'm gonna loosen it up a little bit and then readjust it. So it was the top part of this coupler right there that I need to readjust, and it might have something to do with the angle that this pipe joins the next pipe. That's probably causing that. So let's fix that up. So it looked like these two pipes right here had quite a bit of a gap in between there. So I squeezed them together and I was able to feel them actually physically move in toward each other. Now I'm just gonna tighten that by hand for now. And I'm watching to make sure that gap at the top there closes up, which I'm seeing that happen already by just hand tightening it. Now I'm taking it the rest of the way with the ratchet. And I'm looking all the way around to make sure there is no gap in that coupler. Alright, I think that might be tight enough. There's no gap there, and I can't see any reason why anything would leak out of there anymore. And then, just as a precaution, since this was the problem coupler, I'm also going to tighten that side as well. Before I turn the smoke machine back on, I'm going to straighten up these clamps here as well. Got these two pretty nice and straight now. Just tightening it up. Now that I have the problem coupler all tightened up, time to turn the smoke back on and take a look at the results. Alright, this thing popped right back out, which tells me that there was too much pressure in there that couldn't release, and so this had to give up. So it looks like it couldn't push smoke anywhere else, and so I had to come right back out that way. I think that might do it. Well, it looks like I was able to address the leak. The only problem area I was able to find was that coupler that was behind here that was leaking. What I have to do now is take the car for a drive and put it under boost and see how it performs. So my first impression of this smoke leak detector, I'm actually really impressed with it. It's very simple to set up. I didn't even look at the manual, Everything was very straightforward. All I did was hook things together that looked like they would logically go together. It was very easy to power up, positive, negative, and of course feed the tube down to wherever you want to start putting the smoke in to pressurize the system. My overall opinion is I think it's great. I do recommend it, but be aware of how awful it's gonna smell. It smells horrible in here. So I have the garage open and letting air vent out. That's gonna do it for my thoughts on this smoke leak detector. Okay, bye.